Pokemon Go has given the full disclosure on their Festival of Lights event, starting November 5th and running until November 14th. In this video, I'm going to be covering some of the light details of this event, things that you may want to pay attention to for PvP, and I'm also going to be talking about my boy Dedenne here. But before we get into all that, I want to highlight the second portion of this event. With light comes shadow, starting November 9th. So as you may have guessed, With Light Comes Shadow is a Team Rocket takeover event in Pokemon Go. It has been about 4, maybe 5 months, I think like 5 months since we've had our last Team Rocket takeover event. So on November 9th, we will finally be able to TM frustration away on our Shadow Pokemon once again, allowing us to use a lot of good Shadow Pokemon that we've been storing up over the months here in PvP. To celebrate the occasion, I'm going to be doing a Shadow Nidoqueen PvP IV deep dive, and I'll also have time for a second Shadow Pokemon PvP IV deep dive before the event. What Pokemon is that going to be? Well, I'm leaving it up to a vote. So subscribe to me here on SwagTips and comment below which Shadow Pokemon you'd like me to do a PvP IV deep dive on before the event on the 9th. Keep in mind that I am already doing Shadow Nidoqueen, and I've already done Shadow Machamp in the past as well. I'll link up above and in the description if you want to check out my Shadow Machamp PvP IV deep dive. If you want a second opportunity to vote as well, I do have a tweet on Twitter linked in the description there that you can comment on, and if you're following me on Twitter, then that comment will count towards the voting pool, so 2 votes instead of 1 vote. The winner of this will be announced in the Shadow Nidoqueen PvP IV deep dive. And if for whatever reason I do get both deep dives done in a timely fashion, I may do a third one before the event. So if you're uncertain that your special little boy, who's not everyone's favorite, isn't going to make number 1 in this voting process here, it may make number 2. And if I got time, I'll make that one as well. No promises on that third video. Second video though, comment below. Now, on to the Festival of Lights here. So for the Festival of Lights event, they're going to be boosting friendship in the game. So friendship levels will increase twice as fast, gifts will have increased rewards, and for each day we can open 45 gifts instead of the usual cap of, I believe, 20 gifts. So this may be one of the few times in Pokemon Go I'm opening gifts up religiously to get those sweet rewards. Those of you that are friends with me in Pokemon Go, I'm not opening your gifts because I don't like you. I don't interact with the feature much at all. But if you ever are going to open up gifts in the game, it looks like this event is going to be the time to do it. And then the Season of Mischief story continues. Are we going to finally get Hoopa or the Hoopas? There are 2 Hoopas, 2 different forms. Are we going to get them? I don't know. But one thing that's interesting is that it's been data mined that the Hoopa's signature moves have been added to the game traffic. We don't have a data mine on the numbers, but they may be coming soon. If you want some pre-info on the Hoopas, their forms, how good they may be in Pokemon Go, I'll link up above and in the description to my Hoopa analysis. Additionally, there will be fireworks in-game. Hopefully this doesn't make GBL even more laggy. And then, most important of all, for me, more hype than the With Light Comes Shadow portion of the event, we are finally getting Dedenne in Pokemon Go. Now, I don't know if you can see a whole lot in my office behind me, especially with my giant head in the way, but we got a lot of Dedenne merch here on the wall, or I should clarify, my fiance has a lot of Dedenne merch. We love Dedenne. Dedenne is my son. I love Dedenne. And I am very excited for Dedenne to finally debut in Pokemon Go. It is an electric fairy type Pokemon, so pretty interesting dual type going on there. It's only really viable in the Great League because its CP isn't high enough for the Ultra League, and it's a pretty spicy pick there. If you checked out the top PvP Pokemon from Season 6 article on Game Press, link in the description if you haven't checked it out yet, Dedenne is featured in that article. It is going to be a pretty spicy option in Great League PvP. And I will be doing a specific video talking about Dedenne's potential in PvP in the future. Just know that until I make that video, you're going to want to be catching these things and keeping your eyes peeled for those good IV spreads, because Dedenne is going to be pretty interesting. Not top meta threat type thing, but very spicy and could be very good in cups as well. Then when it comes to the wild encounters, nothing too big here aside from Dedenne, of course. Slugma is also pretty interesting if you don't have a little cup Slugma yet. I know I don't, so I'll be catching and checking out some Slugmas. But aside from these two, the spawns really aren't anything to write home about here. And then same with the research tasks. Nothing too hot here aside from Dedenne, but we're already going to get Dedenne in the wild. And then if you're going for the high stat product, you're going to want the wild catch anyways. So kind of meh research tasks here. And then for raids, hey, it's Dedenne. Yeah, once again, catches are going to be better than the raid catches. For the 5-star raids, though, one thing that's interesting is Terrakion and Virizion are finally going to be getting Sacred Sword in the game. So from what I understand, Cobalion already has it. They already had a Cobalion event with Sacred Sword. These two don't have it. Virizion doesn't have a whole lot of potential with it. Like, there used to be some spice potential in the past for the Ultra League, but the Ultra League has become kind of really aggressive towards Virizion, so I don't know if that'll really help it out. But it definitely gives Terrakion more potential in PvP. Close combat's pretty great. Sacred Sword may be better. And then when it comes to the eggs, nothing to write home about here either. I just want to point out here quick that I think it's disgusting that they're still going with the eggs to describe rarity tiers here, especially when Pokemon in each egg rarity tier don't have the same rarity as the Pokemon in the rarity tier. As far as I'm aware, this is against Apple Play TOS and Google Play TOS, and there's nothing like forcing them to, enforce their own rules on games, but this is like the only mobile app game I've ever played with a loot box system that doesn't have clear as day percentages given to the consumers here. So I feel like this is kind of consumer fraud, very shady. So if anybody from Niantic is watching this video, shame on you. Please push for them to add real percent transparency to their loot box system. If you're going to comment below and say, these aren't loot boxes because we get incubators, keys to a loot box that are monetized, that's the same exact thing as a monetized loot box. Yeah, we get a free incubator. Doesn't matter. Every other game that has this kind of system has free currency, free polls, all that kind of stuff, and they have full percent disclosures on their poll rates. Pokemon Go doesn't. Why don't they? Because it's easier to swindle people out of their money and manipulate them into spending more than what they'd like to, trying to get a specific thing. It's a dirty practice. Jonathan Hankleton, if you're watching this video, you should be ashamed of yourself for letting this go on. So please fix this. Really annoying. And these eggs suck, so don't buy incubators for them. And yeah, and that brings us back to with light comes shadow. So that's all I got to say on this event. If you got any questions, of course, comment below, let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you like content like this, you want to see more like it, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. And of course, if you want me to do a PvP IV deep dive on a specific shadow Pokemon, make sure to comment below which one you want me to do, and follow me on Twitter, and comment on the tweet, also linked down below, which shadow Pokemon you want to see for a shadow PvP IV deep dive. SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these Patreon supporters. You want to support Swagman on Patreon? Link in the description. Am I trying to boost my social media? Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.